Good evening, everyone. Today I'm going to be practicing piano again. I picked out a few of my sheets to practice. I try and practice piano at least 2 or 3 times a week, but and I've done it on camera before, but for the past couple months, some of my piano practices have been off camera, so I thought I'd go back on camera for tonight. It's a little different this time because I'm using my electronic piano instead of my traditional piano. Um, And I learned that setting up on this end of the room is a little bit more difficult. And this piano doesn't allow me to set up the cameras in quite as good a view as the other piano does. But I still tried to do my best. And also, in order to put up one of the cameras on this piano, I had to go onto the sheet music tray. So either I'll be dealing with page turns or uh, we'll figure it out when we get there. But I can't. I can only put up like 2 sheets at a time, and some of my music is 3 sheets. And then again, I'm not planning to do most of all the songs. I'm just doing a little bit from each sheet today because I'm getting a late start. So enough talking. Let's get to the music. All right, the cameras are up, and you can see I have a bit of a light effect going on with my piano. Let me know if you like that. I'm not going to be able to use this light when I do the regular piano, but let me know if you like the light I have set up over here. Meanwhile, let's go ahead and get started. My traditional warm up, as you know, is a little tune I call metronome. Hold on. I'm still getting used to foot placement on the pedal on this one because I can adjust it as needed on this one. There we go. Okay, I'm all sorts of off with my rhythm. All right, let's try that again. Normally, I let metronome go a bit longer, but because of the technical difficulties I had, Windows Update broke my cameras and I had to put them back into position. And it looks like in the studio my cameras are frozen. That's not a good thing. I did say I had technical difficulties with the cameras. Okay, that camera's back up. There we go. Looks like I got the cameras back up. Okay. Chat, please let me know if the cameras go out again. because part of the technical difficulties I had is that Windows didn't update, which affected the way that programs see the camera, the external USB cameras, and they weren't coming up when I tried to set up for my stream, and I had to do a lot of troubleshooting to get them to come up. But it looks like they're up now. Just let me know if there's any issues. Um, let's go ahead with my music sheet. And I know I don't usually run face cam. This area of the room is dim enough that it's not that big a deal. Um, with the piano setup, the face cam isn't really optional. But when I use the other piano, the ways the cameras are angled, I can have it so my face isn't actually on the camera and you just see my hands, but that's not an option. Um, not having the face cam isn't an option with the piano setup. So let's move on with my first sheet. This may be holiday music, but it's a good warm-up piece. Alright, that's enough of that. Just a little warm up. Okay. I'm gonna go the page turn route rather than try to spread out. I might be able to spread these all out. Let's see. The way the camera is set up. Yeah. Where the camera has to go right on the piano tray. I'll experiment with camera replacement before the next time I use this piano. Make things a bit easier for myself, hopefully. So that's what chord is that? Yeah, that's a chord. And then it starts doing a funky rhythm thing over here. That's supposed to be that, but oh, silly me. Alright. I've lost steam on that one. Let's just move on for tonight. Alright. This one should be recognizable to those who know certain well-known puzzle game that came out in the 80s. Pretty much everyone's heard this tune in some form. And then there's a little arpeggio thing going. And I'm not so good at putting the hands together, but let's see what I can do. Alright, somehow I muddled through, but I'm a little rusty on that one. I'll have to work on that one some more in my off-camera practices. I'm trying to move through these sheets. I've only picked out a few songs for today because I want to spend some time working on a very special tune that you guys have never heard before. I guarantee you've never heard it before because it's a college story from over a decade ago. Let's see if I still got this one. This is one I've never played all the way through, but I've played at least the first page or two. So that's supposed to be there. Oh. I guarantee you've all heard this song. Bad start. That explains why it doesn't sound right. Okay. Yeah, I'm very rusty on this one. That's not the. That's the chord. All right, now funky rhythm things. Oh, I like that little dissonance there. That's a cool use of chords. And now a couple measures of easy block chords. Oh boy, what's going on here? That's not right. Oh boy. And my camera just made the sound last time. My computer just made the sound last time it did when my camera stopped. So let me try and pull them back up. Hello, I'm in the middle of a show right now. And how long have I been in mute? Have I been in mute this whole time? Crap. So many technical issues tonight. I just looked over and noticed that my studio was in mute. You guys probably missed a whole bunch of the practice. Uh, Anyways, so in case you didn't hear, this is fragments of of an unfinished composition from college. It was the theme song for what was going to be a musical about Greek mythology, but the project never really got to any sort of. I never really worked on the project, so yeah. But the musical would have been kind of a mashup crossover of all the popular Greek myths. It would have been a bunch of heroes on a boat. Jason, the Argonauts, Hercules, Odysseus, Theseus, Perseus, all the popular Greek heroes on a boat. The gods would have been there, some of the monsters would have been there. And I remember making plans to give a whole song to. There was actually going to be a side scene between Medusa and the Minotaur, kind of a monster love scene ballad kind of thing. And I remember imagining that scene. I was a college kid at the time, and it was really a really silly idea in my mind, and I was like, throw it in. And so, even though there would have been a few different monster encounters, Medusa and the Minotaur would have attacked the heroes together, and ultimately that scene never got written as a song, but there were definitely ideas. Of all the scenes I remember coming up with ideas for, that's the one I remember most fondly, even though there's no music for it. There was another scene which was basically a song. As you know, there were the three most powerful of the Greek gods were Zeus, god of the sky and king god, Poseidon, god of the ocean, and Hades, god of the underworld. And there would have been a song where the three of them are basically having an argument in music form. And I remember that was gonna that was gonna be a fun scene too. The whole thing was gonna be kind of a comedy parody kind of thing rather than playing it straight. But the project never got off the ground, sadly. But just a couple musical fragments exist still in my brain. And one is kind of the opening song. It starts with this fate motif. And I used that motif. That motif was going to be used a lot throughout the show. It would have been disguised and made an appearance in pretty much every song in the plan, just because it kind of ties the whole show together. And then the opening song would have been built on that theme. So the opening song is one of the song that I have fragments for, but I no longer have any of the lyrical concepts for that song. Nor do the fragments go beyond first verse and refrain, so I noodle on that one a lot because it's pretty much all that remains of the project. So the song goes like this. Now I messed up already. I don't have too many memories of this project, some of the notes may sound wrong because the song only exists as fragments anyway. I kind of made up that bit at the end with the major. But really, the fragments only exist as kind of first verse and refrain. And there was one other song fragment that I distinctly remember. It was kind of the scene where the heroes had assembled. I don't remember if the heroes were going to enter the boat one by one as it sailed, or if they all assembled and then went on this voyage together. That part I never came up with a clear concept for. It was mostly just a bunch of scenes I wanted to incorporate. I would have built the story around that, but I know it's a little bit of about possibly one of the reasons why the story itself never really came together. Um, but there was a scene with all the heroes sailing on the ocean, and I kind of came up with this riff. Kind of reminded me of calm ocean. Um, they're sailing on a calm ocean, and of course there would have been scenes where there would have been wild ocean too. But and from that song, I didn't really put a melody together. A melody never really came. All I remember from that song is I did kind of have a little bridge portion, which because I liked the way it sounded, I would have probably found an adapt. I probably would have found a way to transform and adapt it for use elsewhere in the show. But here's the bridge for the sailing song that would have gone on top of that little harmonic motif you just heard. And I feel like that little section works best as a bridge than the actual melody, just because there's so much going on in it. But so it would have been a bridge. Um, there's another tune that I worked on in college that I kind of developed it, but I don't remember it if it was going to be part of this project or not. It could have been adapted into part of this project if it wasn't. Yeah. And I remember I developed that tune for a while, but there was never any lyrics or scene associated with that one, at least in terms of the Greek Mythology project. I still have an idea to maybe revisit that project one day if I can relearn all the songwriting stuff. I still think it's a great concept for a musical. Um, I might want to streamline it a bit. I really had a lot going on in the concept. I mean, it would have called for about 20 or so named characters, which is more than the average musical. Like a lot more. Like there were eight or so heroes on the boat alone. Then you had all the gods that I wanted to give roles to. There would have been at least three of the muses, if not more, would have had singing roles. I mean, it's not a bad concept. It's just that I think there was too much going on. Part of the reason why a project couldn't gain any cohesion, any steam. But maybe if I streamlined it, maybe if I picked a couple heroes like Jason, Hercules, Odysseus, Perseus, and Theseus for sure, and cut the others, and then leave about a dozen slots for speaking gods. Maybe maybe what I can do is what they do in things like Hamilton, where the minor characters are each an ensemble member who changes roles between scenes. That's a possibility. I mean, there's different ways I can revive the project into a workable form, um, if I wanted to do so. Or I could get in touch with some of the musicians I know on Twitch and maybe we can make a collab out of it. That might be fun. Anyway, uh, is that all I had? There was one other tune I remember. But this tune, as a melody, it was kind of boring. It was kind of one of the triumphal victory numbers. But as a melody, it was kind of boring. I never really developed it. It went, and that's kind of boring as far as melodies go. But with a little development, it could be workable. And that too would have incorporated the Fate motif, except transformed. It would have taken the Fate motif, the ominous, mysterious sounding Fate motif, and made it sound happy. Why does the phone keep ringing? Okay, not for me. Alright, I don't have to disrupt stream for that one. You know, ever since taking the one device off the hub that isn't on the camera right now, I haven't had any issues with it not running smoothly, so there's that. Um, I needed that device on for the splash screen at the beginning of stream though, so it had to be there. Alright. Anything else I want to do with this before I switch to the finale? So yeah, we did that tune. So there was a little bit of a fragment that went like that, which I was going to associate with one of the monster or villain characters. And actually, come to think of it, that could be a good fit for the Minotaur Medusa. Uh, yeah, the Minotaur and Medusa duet scene. That might be a good melody for that scene if I ever revisit the project. And let me think. There was also a. was a variant of the fake chords that went like this. Basically, I would have inserted those chords. So yeah, I would have inserted those chords anywhere I could, kind of to tie the whole thing together. I like that chord progression. Um, and it could have been adapted to different keys, like. So yeah, it could have gone into different keys as well, in different modes, and different flavors, as the songs would have required. But the idea was for that motif to work itself in some form to most of the music in the show. Um, I do want to revisit that project sometime. All right. Twitch, what's going on over here? I've been on over an hour, so let's go straight into the finale at this point. And I don't know how this is going to sound in strings. So if it sounds stupid or wrong to me, I'm just going to put it back into piano. And I think for today, because I haven't practiced this song in a couple weeks, I usually finish with this piece, but I haven't practiced in a couple weeks. So for today, I'm just going to puzzle through the right hand part. And then next time I do a regular piano practice, I'll try with the left hand again. It doesn't sound too bad with the strings. I'm going to go on as is. This is the moment. One of my favorite Broadway soliloquies. I can't say it's my favorite because I like too many of them to pick one favorite, but I really like this song. So it's my traditional piano closer. before I continue, I want to make sure that I'm not going to get caught up in the middle of that page turn. Because this is where things start getting exciting in the music. I like this chord right here. So yeah, what we just saw is a little bit of a variant chord here. So it goes, and then the next measure it goes. As far as I know, this is the only place in the song, so... Did I mention I love that effect in the chords? But it's not my favorite chord effect in the piece. That's coming up later. No, that's wrong. There we go. Oh, chords do funky things right here. Let me see. So now, crap, I've... Alright. So we're here. Skipping a bit. Where am I supposed to do the jump? Ah, here. So we're not really skipping a bit, so... So we're back to this thing that only occurs in this passage, but the passage occurs twice, not once as I previously thought. Ah, yes, this is my, the key change is coming up. I love this key change. Alright, this key change only works if I bring in the left hand. So from a couple bars before. And then it goes. So from this measure. And then a brand new chord. Yep. And then we just go on from there. And after every song, every key change, you have to retrain yourself how the song goes. So that's there. It's doing that chord effect from before. That this thing. But now it's doing it up higher. It's doing from this to. Actually, I'm not sure if it's doing that because I don't see it. It's doing a similar thing, but it's not changing chords. Alright, I need to be able to see the last couple measures here. My hand does not stretch that one. Yeah. I gotta work on that some more, get pacing better, add the left hand. But hey, let's go back to that key change measure again. Let me run the key change one more time, because hey, that's a cool key change. Yep, I really like that key change. So yeah, I'll work on that song some more before the next stream and during the next stream. I'm gonna keep working on that song till it's performable. That's the one song I want to make performable. But I'd say I had a good practice tonight after working through those technical difficulties. I'm not sure how much of this video is muted, but let's find somebody. Oh, I have a couple musicians online I can raid right now. Let's raid. You know what? We haven't raided Kyger in a while. Let's raid Kyger. She's very good. You'll like her. Alright. Have a good night, everyone. I'll be back tomorrow with, I think I'm doing art tomorrow. I have a special art show planned for this week. So have a good night, everyone. I'll see you soon. Go enjoy Kyger's music now.